A worker told he has just weeks to live after developing a lung disease brought on by years of cutting kitchen worktops is taking legal action against his former employers. Dad of 3 Marek Marzec, who has lung disease silicosis, says he's furious about the impact the lethal dust produced by cutting quartz worktops has had. The 48-year-old, now on his deathbed, having been too ill to undergo a potentially life-saving lung transplant, complained of appalling work conditions but hopes to prevent others from dying by simply doing their job. Law firm Leigh is representing Marzec along with several other former stoneworkers similarly diagnosed with silicosis and demanding urgent safety changes. Marzec, who is originally from Poland, has worked for several engineered stone manufacturers in North London and Hertfordshire since 2012. He was diagnosed with silicosis in April earlier this year, with his condition sadly having deteriorated rapidly since. Marzec is currently being treated at Whittington Hospital in North London and is under the care of leading occupational lung disease expert Dr. Joe Fury from the Royal Brompton Hospital. However, his silicosis, a long-term lung disease caused by the inhalation of large amounts of crystalline silica dust, is now at such an advanced stage that Marzec has been given just weeks to live. A recent study found that stoneworkers similar to Marzec had developed an acute form of silicosis that causes significant shortness of breath and severe disability, with a lung transplant often being the only way to treat it. Unfortunately, Marzec was too unwell to undergo such an operation and is now receiving end-of-life care. Speaking from the hospital, Marzec said he had been left in terrible pain and unable to breathe simply for doing my job. I arrived in the UK hoping to build a better life and wanting to make sure that my young daughters were financially secure, he said. Instead, because of the work I did cutting quartz worktops, I have been left unable to breathe and in terrible pain. I cannot tell you how angry I am that I was allowed to work in these conditions, and that my life has been cut short simply for doing my job. I am not the only person whose life has been put at risk by this lethal dust. It is time for urgent action to stop these dangerous working conditions I had to face before other stoneworkers contract this terrible disease and die. Leigh's legal team say tougher safety measures are urgently needed to halt the growing number of cases of silicosis linked to cutting engineered stone, which has already claimed the life of at least one other stoneworker. Ewan Tant, Marzec's solicitor and a partner at Leigh, warned that without these measures, further deaths could be seen in the coming years. This is a tragic case, with my client now on end-of-life care as a result of working with engineered stone, in what he alleges were appalling conditions, totally unfit for purpose, Tant said. No one should end up facing the bleakest of outcomes simply as a result of going to work,